Prana.
Diksha Stita.
Dikshadi chet pranadabhis.
Diksha Dita Cheta Pranati Pischa.
Pranadibhis.
Pranati Pischa. B.
Cha bhajandam isham.
Cha Pajantam Misham.
Susrusya bhajana vijnam.
Srushrayam Bhajanam Vignam.
Ananyam anya nidhani nindadi.
Ananyam Nindani.
Anya nindadi.
Ananyam Nindani.
Shunyahridam ipshida.
Sunyam Rudayam Ipsita.
Tangalabhya.
Tangalabhya.
Synonyms. Krishna. The holy name of Lord Krishna.
No.
Please repeat after me. Idi.
Iti.
Thus.
Thus.
Yasya.
Yasya.
Of whom.
Of whom.
Giri.
Giri.
In the words or speech.
In the words or speech.
Tam.
Tam.
Him.
Him.
Manasa.
Manasa.
By the mind.
By the mind.
Adriyeda.
Adriyeta. One
must honor.
honor.
Diksha.
Diksha.
Initiation.
Initiation.
Asti.
Asti.
There is.
There is.
Chet.
Chet.
If.
If.
Pranadibhihi.
Pranadibhihi.
By obeisances.
By obeisances.
Cha.
Cha.
Also.
Also.
Bhajandam.
Bhajantam.
Engaged in devotional service.
Engage in a devotional service.
Isham.
Isam.
Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Susruya.
Susruya.
By practical service.
By a practical service.
Bhajana Vijnam.
Bhajanam Vidyam.
One who is advanced in devotional service.
One who is advanced in a devotional service.
Ananyam.
Ananyam.
Without deviation.
Without deviation.
Anya Ninda Adi.
Anya Ninda Adi.
Of blasphemy of others, etc.
Of blasphemy of others, etc.
Shunya.
Sunya.
Completely devoid.
Completely devoid.
Hridam.
Rudam.
Whose heart.
Whose heart.
Ipshida.
Ipsita.
Desirable.
Desirable.
Sangha.
Sangha.
Association.
Association.
Labdhya.
Labdhya.
By gaining.
By gaining.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, HG Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. One should mentally honor the devotee.
One should mentally honor the devotee.
Who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna.
Who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna.
One should offer humble obeisance to the devotee.
One should offer a humble obeisance to the devotee.
Who has undergone spiritual initiation.
Who has undergone spiritual initiation.
Diksha.
Diksha.
And is engaged in worshipping the deity.
And is engaged in worshipping the deity.
And one should associate with.
And one should associate with.
And faithfully serve that pure devotee.
And faithfully serve the pure devotee.
Who is advanced in undeviated devotional service.
Who is advanced in undeviated devotional service.
And whose heart is completely devoid.
And whose heart is completely devoid.
Of the propensity to criticize others.
Of the propensity to criticize the others.
Yeah, perfect. So yesterday Mataji covered half of it, but we will also cover so that we can have a complete understanding of what is this words meant by and how we can understand as an whole. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous words, one must select proper person with a careful discrimination. So this is Srila Prabhupada mentioned that in the purport. Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned in the fourth verse that there are 6 kinds of loving exchanges, Preeti Lakshana, the exchange of loving dealing between the devotees, loving exchange between the devotees. There are 6 kinds of. The 6 kinds like that. One should offer the gift in charity and also receive gifts in charity among the devotees. Okay. Then one should reveal his heart in confidentiality, and one would also hear that confidential subject matter from the senior devotees. And then one should offer the prasadam to the
to the
devotees,
devotee.
and one should receive and honor the prasadam from other devotees. So these are the 6 loving loving devotional exchange between the devotees. And what Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned, that if you want to execute this very faithfully and sincerely, one can progress in bhakti, progress in devotional service very quickly and very fast. So here in this verse, Sri Rupa Goswami revealing that who are those devotees. So here Rupa Goswami mentioned that the 3 categories of devotees, the Kanishta Adhigaris, the Madhyama Adhigari, and the Uttama Adhigari. Kanishta Adhigari, generally known as the neophyte devotees, or those who are just begin the process of bhakti, who chanted the holy name, who started the devotional practices. They are considered as Kanishta Adhigari. Kanishta means the beginners. Adhigari means one who has the authority. Adhigari, right? So even if one who is just started, but he is faithfully serving and chanting the holy name, he is considered as an Adhigari. He has the power. He has the power or authority. So he develops that spiritual strength. That's what is called Adhigari. So then he can progress further. The Madhyama Adhigari is one who is taken the Diksha, one who is initiated by a spiritual master. He continued his process of devotional practices and chanting of the holy name. He is very faithful and he executes the instructions of the spiritual master, and he is known as Madhyama Adhigari. And then Uttama Adhigari, one who is faithfully serving the, very sincerely and faithfully serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any deviation. Which is Rupa Goswami mentioned that without any deviation and completely situate into the spiritual platform. They are considered as Uttama Adhigari. So one should have an association with these devotees, kinds of devotees, and out of all, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that one should always have a strong association with the Uttama Adhigari or the pure devotees of the Lord. So that's what it is. Srila Prabhupada says that. So one should have careful discrimination whom we are selecting for the exchange of this loving exchange between the devotees. So Srila Prabhupada mentions further in the purport, Sri Rupa Goswami therefore advises that we should meet with Vaishnavas in an appropriate way according to their particular status. So it is, that's what is Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned, that one who is in the Kanishta Adhigari platform, or he just started his devotional, he started to chant the holy name, one should give respect in his mind. One should always, such devotees should be respected. Srila Prabhupada was giving an example some time ago that when Srila Prabhupada came here on the 65, and then started this small movement in the 22nd Second Avenue, 26th Second Avenue is in a very small room. And then Srila Prabhupada appointed a devotee as a president of this initial, the beginning, initial stage of the Krishna conscious movement. And then this devotee was not completely purified or completely came out from this all his bad habits he had before. He had a habit of smoking. So even though he is a president, and then he was smoking. So then one day some devotees complained to Srila Prabhupada, this devotee is smoking. Srila Prabhupada said, I know, yes, it is just started. He's just started. He's in the Kanishta platform. Eventually he will, purify. He will, give up all this. But even though he is smoking, you all have to respect him. You all have to give proper respect to that devotee because of he's chanting the holy name. He is engaging in the devotional service. He's following the orders of spiritual master. So he should respect. So Srila Prabhupada was giving like this. So here Srila Prabhupada says that in the purport, so there are three kinds of devotees: Kanishta Adhikari, Uttama Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. So Srila Prabhupada says the Kanishta Adhikari is a neophyte who has received Harinama initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should respect such person within his mind as Kanishta, Vaishnava. One should respect in his mind. Okay, it's very important to point that not. Madhyama Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So Madhyama Adhikari is considered as he is more advanced than a Kanishta Adhikari. He is very faithfully serving spiritual master and fully engaged in the loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So in the details further, we saw that Madhyama Adhikari platform is actually one who is able to preach to others, one who is able to guide other devotees. So he comes to the Madhyama Adhikari platform. He completely realized his devotional, his spiritual realization, and then understood his constitutional position. He is faithfully serving spiritual master. His faith is very strong. The faith is so strong in such a way that he can then completely convince others. Kanishta Adhikari may not. Kanishta Adhikari is just begun and he's just practicing. Even if there is some slight change or somebody come and try to convince with other philosophies, Kanishta Adhikari may fall down. Or Srila Prabhupada further says that a Kanishta Adhikari is associated with a mundane people or non-devotees, so he may fall down. So this is the Kanishta Adhikari platform, and we could see that many people join in ISKCON, and they start with their process, and they were very enthusiastic. And after some time, they won't show up again. They just fall down. They just go with their own. They see that there are not so many difficulties. I cannot go with anymore. I can't chant anymore. I cannot understand. No. My belief is a little different than this one. But initially, they were very enthusiastic. They were chanting the holy name. What happens after sometimes they go away. They fall down. They don't continue. So this is what is the Kanishta platform, Kanishta Adhikari platform. That means even if they associate with the non-devotees, there may be a chance they can fall down. So, but that is not the case of Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari fully convinced. He is initiated and he is lovingly, very faithfully engaged in the loving devotional service. So Madhyama Adhikari can preach. Madhyama Adhikari can go outside and convince people. Madhyama Adhikari platform, he can discriminate. That's another aspect of a Madhyama Adhikari. He is able to discriminate in the sense that Madhyama Adhikari, he is a devotee, he is a non-devotee. So that I can go and preach to that a non-devotee. So I can also associate with the devotee. I can go and see this devotee is not practicing, so I can talk to them. So Madhyama Adhikari has that kind of privilege that he can see that who is a devotee and who is not devotee. So he can go and preach and distribute books and convince others so that he is fully convinced with his own strong faith and in Shastra, and strong faith in the Krishna. So this is the Madhyama Adhikari platform. Then we come to the stage of Uttama Adhikari. So Sri Rupa Goswami says that one should give and associate with the Uttama Adhikari and give proper respect and always in association with the Uttama Adhikari so that we all can benefit from the Uttama Adhikari. So here, Srila Prabhupada mentioned this purport. The Uttama Adhikari, he is in the pure devotional platform. He is fully convinced. He can he is completely absorbed in the devotional platform. He is known as Mahabhagavata. So there is a difference between Madhyama Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari. Yesterday was more focused on the Kanishta Adhikari. Today we'll focus more on the Madhyama Adhikari and the Uttama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari we just explained, and Uttama Adhikari is more situated in the devotional platform. He is fully convinced. He is always engaged in the loving devotional service, 24 hours a day. He is always engaged in the devotional service. And here is a difference between Madhyama Adhikari, and that's very important. Uttama Adhikari never cannot discriminate. He see everybody else is a devotee. So that's the difference. Madhyama Adhikari can discriminate. He's a devotee, he's a non-devotee. But here, on the other hand, Uttama Adhikari sees that I'm not a devotee, everybody else is a devotee. So this is the difference between Uttama Adhikari. And what is again the another difference between Kanishta Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari? Kanishta Adhikari thinks that I am the only one devotee, everybody else is not a devotee. Hmm? Yes. Kanishta Adhikari thinks that I am the only one, is the devotee, everybody else is not a devotee. So he starts to preach, he has to talk, he has to all these things, and for some time, and then he just some other changes happen, he just go away. So then he's very prone to fall down. But on the other hand, Uttama Adhikari thinks that I'm not a devotee. Everybody else is a devotee. So then what happens? He cannot preach very well. But he is completely situated by his example. He is very well situated in his devotional platform. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is known as Paramahamsa. There is a difference of Hamsa or Paramahamsa. Hamsa has a knowledge. Hamsa has a very specific, unique quality. You know that Hamsa means swan. They are known as Paramahamsas. They are the Mahabhagavatas, pure devotees of the Lord. They completely situate and completely secluded in a place where they're completely absorbed, engaged in the devotional service. So they are known as Paramahamsas. Paramahamsas. So then Paramahamsa has a problem. Problem in the sense that they see everybody else as a devotee. They give dandavats to everyone. We know that Juba Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami in such a pure devotional platform. Whomever comes to meet Raghunath Das Goswami giving Dandavat pranams to every one of them. It was mentioned that almost 2,000 devotees used to come and meet Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami was giving Dandavat obeisances to pranam to each and every one of them. So this is in the Mahabhagavata pure devotional platform. He sees everybody else is a devotee. So then there's a problem. Then they cannot come down to preach because of they don't see that who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee. So Srila Prabhupada was like that in Radha Damodara temple in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada was very much situated in that pure devotional platform and seeing every day Sri Radha Damodara. But Srila Prabhupada was seeing then again further. Srila Prabhupada came down. So this Hamsa platform, Hamsa has a very unique quality that if we mix water and milk together, a Hamsa, a swan, has such a quality that they can discriminate. They can take out the milk from the water, and they can absorb the milk from the water, and then they can spit out the water. So this is the unique quality of a swan. So that's what is pure devotee or Hamsa or Paramahamsa means, that even though they live in this material world, they can completely, discriminate or completely take out what is needed for the spiritual practices. So they completely absorbed in the spiritual consciousness, even though they live in this material world. This is called Paramahamsa platform or Paramahamsa stage. So, but Srila Prabhupada came down, and that's the next stage called Parivrajagacharya, right? And then there are 4 stages of sannyasa. It's called Kuntichaka, Bhaguchaka, Parivrajagacharya, and Paramahamsa. So then Srila Prabhupada came down to the Parivrajagacharya stage, and then in that Parivrajagacharya, then one can start to preach. That's why Srila Prabhupada then started to travel to the West and started to preach even when Srila Prabhupada was there, and then going out and distribute books and distribute back to Godhead's magazine, and started to compile and compose these books and translate and all these various scriptures in the different languages. Because of this is the greatest quality of a Vaishnava, because of Para Dukha Dukhi, who is very much anxious of getting everybody else to the devotional platform. This was the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jare Deko Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So even though the stages of sannyasa that Paramahamsa, Srila Prabhupada could situate in very well, that very secluded and completely absorbed, but when a devotee come and serve the spiritual master and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Supreme Lord, they go beyond the stages of Paramahamsa. They come to the Maha Bhagavata stage and started to glorify, started to preach the glories and the signs of Krishna conscious to everyone. So this is the Uttama Adhikari platform. Uttama Adhikari. They are completely situated in that devotional platform and engaged 24 hours. We know that Srila Prabhupada was very sleeping very less, very hardly 2 hours or 3 hours, and get up early in the morning and sometimes stay very late till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., then sleep for just 1 or 2 hours, then get up for Mangalarati and the services. This was for many years, and more than 80 volumes of the book Srila Prabhupada completely translated and then composed and compiled 80 volume, more than 80 volumes. That's why Srila Prabhupada got this title is Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti Vedanta. So the devotees, it's very important that we understand this fact that whom we should associate. So Srila Rupa Goswami says that we should associate with such a pure devotee and Mahabhagavata. So that way we can completely transform. So then we come to the question of how we can come to this stage. We just begin with this Krishna consciousness. So then we come to the stage of we may be different stage, like somebody maybe just started in Krishna consciousness, some may be chanting, some may be having some also devotee association. Then there may be a question that how we can progress in bhakti, how we can come to this pure devotional platform. So then Sri Rupa Goswami very nicely explains, and in this purport also, that purport I just put it in a PowerPoint. And let me show that the PowerPoint. Let me see that I can display that. Yeah. Share that. Are you able to see my screen? Just wanted to confirm.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to... So yes, we were just discussing about the different stages of devotion, right? That we just went through. Then we come to the stage of three different stages or different devotee levels: Kanishthadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. So here, then Srila Prabhupada mentioned that when a Madhyamadhikari, when he is free and transcendental to mixed devotional activity, he becomes a second-class devotee. When he becomes expert in logic and can refer to the Shastras, he becomes a first-class devotee. The devotees are also described as positive, comparative, and superlative in terms of their love and attachment for Krishna. So this is the most important thing. So how do we understand? How do we progress? How do we come to that stage of bhakti or come to that platform of Uttama Adhikari? Who is that Uttama Adhikari? It depends on that how much love he develops. How much love he develops for Krishna. So as we know that when we have loving relationship with someone, right, or for wife or husband, so then that measures or that shows that how much we serve each other, how much we serve to that person. That shows that this is that love, likes that. When one engages in the loving devotional service, that shows that how much love he is developed for the Supreme Lord. So that is the measurement that how one can become the Kanishthadhikari or Madhyamadhikari or Uttamadhikari. Kanishthadhikari may be engaged in so many material activities, but then less time, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, may spend for Krishna. Maybe hardly, sometimes it's even not that one. Madhyamadhikari is more elevated to that platform of loving devotional service. In the case of Uttamadhikari, he is always engaged in the loving devotional service. In that case, Krishna is the foremost and the top priority in that devotee's life, nothing else. So Krishna is everything for such a devotees. So that's the Uttamadhikari. So it should be understood that Madhyama Adhikari, a second-class devotee, is fully convinced in Krishna consciousness, but cannot support his conviction with the Shastric reference. A neophyte may fall down by associating with the non-devotees because he is not firmly convinced and strongly situated. The second-class devotee, even though he cannot support his position with the Shastric reference, can gradually become first-class devotee by studying the Shastras and associating with first-class devotee. So it's very much noted, this one. How one can become to that Uttamadhikari platform? By the association. We'll come to that point in a little bit. However, if the second-class devotee does not advance himself by associating with the first-class devotee, he makes no progress. There is no possibility that first-class devotee will fall down. Even though he may mix with the non-devotees to preach, conviction and faith gradually increases to make one an Uttama Adhikari, a first-class devotee. So this is Srila Prabhupada is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita purport. So then we can see the next one. So when it comes to the Uttama Adhikari, the most advanced devotee says that Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that Sarva Bhudeshya Pashyed Bhagavat Bhagavan Atmanaha Bhudani Bhagavadi Atmani Esha Bhagavado Uttamaha. The most advanced devotee sees within everything, the soul, everything within the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the, so that means he is not able to discriminate. He sees Lord in everything, Lord in everywhere. He sees the super soul situated in every individual soul. And he sees Krishna in everything. Consequently, he sees systematically everything in relationship to the Supreme Lord. This is another quality of Anuttama Adhikari devotees. He always says he doesn't see any bheda nahi. He doesn't see any difference between anything. He sees everywhere Krishna. This is what is also Krishna says in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. One who sees me in everything. And Krishna says that one who sees me in everything and in everything, one who sees me in everything, and I am seated in his heart, he is most dear to me. And if that's the same thing is mentioned here, one who sees, that's Uttama Adhikari, sees Krishna in everything, and that is another quality of an Uttama Adhikari. Then he sees systematically everything in relation to Supreme Lord and understand that everything that exists eternally situated within the Lord. So this is what is exactly also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. One who sees me in everything and everything is situated in Krishna, he is very dear to me. That's one who is dear to Krishna. Who is that? That is an Uttama Adhikari, like Srila Prabhupada. So then we come to this understanding of how we can come to that stage of the devotees. So it says that the conclusion is, yeah, that's a different one. Then we can come to this platform of how we can come to that very pure devotional platform or Uttama Adhikari stage. So we know that Sri Rupa Goswami also mentioned that in the Nectar of Devotion. It is mentioned that Adho Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. So when a Kanishta Adhikari or a neophyte devotee or one who started, so he develops some kind of faith. Faith means Shraddha. So Adho Shraddha, one should have to have the Shraddha, the faith. And here it is also how one can develop that faith. Shraddha develops, or the faith can be developed by hearing. So that's what we are trying to do. By as much as hearing about the spiritual subject matter, the Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, from the devotees, so that we can hear and develop that faith in the Krishna. So that's why Sravanadi Shuddha Chitte Hara Karaho Udai. Sravanadi Shuddha Chitte. So by hearing that, we can cleanse our heart. So why we are not having this strong faith in Krishna? Because of our heart is fully contaminated with this material impurities. All this material attachments, desires, material desires, attachment, that's considered as a rope, is binds with this material world. So heart is not clean. It has so much of material contaminations. So by hearing what happens, our heart becomes purified. When our heart becomes purified, that's where Shraddha sprouts, the Bhakti sprouts. Bhakti Lada Bij sprouts. That's why it says that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmanda Brahmide ko bhagyavan chiva, Guru Krishna prasade bhaya bhakti lada bij. One who has this bhakti lada bij, he is the greatest fortunate person in this world because of he may not understand, but that is a fact. When he has this bhakti, the shraddha, the faith, the devotion to the Supreme Lord, that his progress, his everything changes. His all constitutional position, his material position, his material entanglement changes. And he free from this material entanglement, he attained the Supreme Lord eternally, and his eternal he get an eternal position, his eternity, knowledge, and full of bliss he attains. So he's the most fortunate person. So by hearing, one can develop that Shraddha. So this is a progressive path that how one can come to that Uttama, the pure devotee or Mahabhagavata stage. Then we know that Sadhu Sangha. So one has that strong faith, and then when that faith develops, then by the mercy of Krishna, then what happens? He gets devotees and he gets devotee association. That's known as Sadhu Sangha. So Sadhu Sangha, we have so many examples in our scriptures that how one became the pure devotee. You know, that's the story of Valmiki, right? Valmiki was a thief in the forest, and he was a hunter, thief, and he was killing animals and people, those who are around. He was robbing the people in the forest, and that's what is his dailyhood. His name was Ratnagar. He was in the forest every day. Whoever passes through the forest, he goes and shows his knife and threaten them and rob them and sometimes kill them and sometimes So this was his daily livelihood, collecting and robbing and stealing and thefting and all those things and killing animals and so many abominable activities and sinful activities. That's the time one day Sri Narada Muni passes through, and Narada Muni and this Ratnagar approached Narada Muni and tried to rob and tried to steal whatever. So then Narada Muni just, told him, just wait for a minute, Ratnagar. I'm here. I don't have anything, but I will give you whatever I have. But I have to ask you one question. I have to ask you one question. If you answer properly, then you can take me, whatever you want to do. So Narada Muni asked Ratnagar, oh Ratnagar, you know, whatever you do, all these sinful activities, you know that you are the only one going to suffer for this. And before that, the Narada Muni asked, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this all sinful activity? This you are going to suffer forever in the hellish condition, in hellish planet. You are stealing, robbing, and killing and murdering, so many things. And this is we are going to suffer for it. And no matter what. So Narada Muni asked, so are you going to do, and you are the only one going to suffer for these sinful activities, or the entire family? So then the Eknagar replied that, oh, I'm doing this for my family and everybody. That's why I'm robbing and stealing and killing. So then Narada Muni asked, are you going to suffer only yourself, or all the entire family is going to suffer for it? So Narada Muni, then Eknagar just thought for a minute. Eknagar said, I don't know. I don't know. Is that I'm the only one going to suffer for it, or entire my family is going to suffer for it? So Narada Muni told to Ratnagar, you just go and ask your family members and your wife that I am doing day and night. I'm capturing and robbing and stealing and killing and murdering all this, and I'm all doing it for you, all your family members. And am I going to suffer? And everybody else is also going to suffer for the sinful activities, sinful reaction. So then Ratnagar went back to his home and asked his family, listen, that I met this Narada Muni, asked me this question, and I'm asking you guys, are you all going to suffer for this sinful activity that I'm doing? They very straightly, they said, no, 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 we are not going to suffer for any of this. You are the only one going to suffer for it because of this is your decision that you do it. It is your choice, it's your decision that you do this, and this is that you are going to suffer for this your sinful activity. There is no doubt into that. Then he ran, he came back and told to Narada Muni, this is the reply that I got from the family members. Then Narada Muni told to Ratnagar, then why are you doing this? You can stop this and you can completely relieve from all these sinful reactions, and then you can completely become pure, and you will not suffer the sinful reactions in the future lives. So Ratnagar asked, what should I do? So Ratnagar was killing, and he is always known as Mara. Mara means to kill, or he is also in the forest, and he knows that Mara means trees. So Narada Muni told him that, okay, I'll tell you one thing, and you sit in between these two trees, and you look at the other tree and say that, Mara. So you can say at least this one. This is another problem. When a person is so sinful, he cannot even chant the name properly. And I went to a house, few months back, and there was little older, like maybe 10, 12 years older, a little boy. And I was telling that, tell this Narayana, this word of Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. He can't pronounce. He was trying. He cannot even pronounce this Narayana. Just simple little word, Narayana. And on the other hand, a 4 years old, a little boy can by heart the entire Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The 700 words of Bhagavad Gita, he could by heart. We had a devotee in our Bhakti Risha. 700 words, 4.5 years by heart, and he was completely recited in the stage, and he got a certificate. And this is the difference. The person absorbed in this material and sinful reactions, he cannot even pronounce the name of the Lord. So what happened here? Ratnagar, Narada Dev told to Ratnagar, you sit here. He couldn't even chant properly Rama, but he was so much in Mara to kill. He can say that, he could say that. So he started to, okay, sit here, and you continuously chant this Mara, 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 Mara. So he started to chant this word, Mara, 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 Mara. Eventually that Mara became Rama, the holy name of the Lord. So when he started to chant, his tongue is pronounced Rama instead of Rama, 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 Rama. He continuously chanting. He forgot days and night and years passed. The anthill came over his body and eaten completely his flesh, but he is chanting this very powerful mantra of Rama. And the potency of the mantra of Rama, this Ratnagar became completely purified. His entire body eaten by the ants and the flesh is gone, but his life soul is there. The soul is now completely transferred and pure. And then after many years, Narada came back to that root and heard this sound, this beautiful pronunciation. And their forest is pronouncing, vibrating with this holy name of Ram, 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 Ram. And he went there and looked for it and saw that this is that Ratnagar. I instructed that holy name, and he is completely now started to chant this holy name. And then Narada just broke out this anthill, and then Narada sprinkled that this water from his kamandalu, and then immediately Ratnagar got this body back, and he was so tejas. His effulgence was coming out from his body and his face, and then blessed. And Ratnagar now became Valmiki. Why Valmiki? Because of came out from the Valmiga. Valmiga means ant hill. That's why Ratnagar got this name. Narada said, now onwards you will become, and he became a great sage, Valmiki. And Valmigam. Valmigam means ant hill. So the Valmiki Ratnagar came out. And you know what happened after that? Then Valmiki went out to take a bath in the Sarayu river. That's the time Valmiki got so that two birds were actually making love, and one hunter actually shot an arrow and killed one of the bird. And then this Valmiki was immediately compiled a poem. Hey Manishada, this is what is word. Hey Manishada means a katala or hunter. Don't kill. So look at that. This devotee Ratnagar was killing all the time, left and right. And now he's saying to the hunter that don't kill the devotees. This is the difference between that when one associate with the devotee. This is called sadhu sangha. By the association, Chaitanya Charitamrita says that sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kai, leva matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Sadhu sangha, one should associate with the devotees, and even little bit of association, like we saw here, Ratnagar. The Ratnagar became Valmiki and the great sage, and who compiled this entire Valmiki Ramayana. Even Brahmadev appeared before this Valmiki and instructed, compile this Valmiki Ramayana. And even that the Rama is going to manifest in future yuga, but still Vatmiki became where he compiled this Ramayana in advance by the instruction of Brahmadev. So this is the difference one can make. And we know that the story of Narada Dev. Narada, who Narada was? Narada was the son of a maid servant. Just by the association of the Bhakti Vedantis, when the Bhakti Vedantis was traveling for 4 months, they stayed in a one place. That time, Narada's mother was a maid servant for helping them, and in another devotee's house. Narada was a little child, and 4-year-old child, and went along with his mother. And then what happened? Hearing and sitting and hearing nearby those Bhakti Vedantis, and then seeing this and remembering all this, then what happened? Then having just, and they asked, Narada, the little child asked some permission to mother, can I have some little remnants which they ate? Because of Narada was always in poverty. Can I have little remnants which ate by this Bhakti Vedantis? So then agreed. And just by the association and ate their remnants which from the pure devotee's lips and from the mouth, Naradev is completely purified. And we know that then how Naradev became the pure devotee of the Lord. We know that Prahlad Maharaj, just by the association of Naradev, just by the association of pure devotee, Naradev was son of a maid servant, become a pure devotee. And then by that association of that pure devotee, then Naradev become pure devotee. Dhruva Maharaj became pure devotee. See that? There are so many, so many. And there is another example of called Mrigari. Mrigari was a hunter in the forest. Mrigari was killing every day the animals. And he does not kill the animals completely. He just kill halfway. Then what is that? When he kills the animal half, then they struggle for their life, and then they kind of, and then he laugh at them, seeing the pain of that the another animal dying severely, severe pain. He laughs at them. This was the Mrigari, the hunter in the forest. And then what happens one day again? Narada came, and Narada saw that this Mrigari is killing and killing half. And Narada came and told him, why are you killing half these animals? Why don't you kill them at once so that they at least less pain they will suffer? He said, no, 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 I like it. So Narada said that you are going to suffer for this immensely. You don't know what results you are going to get it. So this is the time a pure devotee started to speak about the results of his all activities, all the karma. He was never aware of it. So now he thought for a minute, am I going to suffer for all these sinful reactions, all sinful activities? Narada said, yes, of course. Because of your killing in such a way that you are also going through to the same severe pain in your life. And next generations of life, you are going to suffer for it. I thought of a minute, what should I do? Narada said, what should you do? I will tell you. And then you sit here and chant this mantra. Then he asked, how will I live? How will I get my daily food? And nobody is going to, and animals, ferocious animals will come and eat me. Narada said, nobody will come. You sit here, follow my instructions, everything will be all right. So Narada left and he followed that instruction. He started to chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord. And then what happens? So by the mercy of Narada, and these words came to the next village that this hunter became a pure devotee. Hunter became a devotee. He started to chant the holy name. And he was sitting there, and all these villages came and made a hut for him. And then they started to bring the food for him. And then years passed, and then he became a pure devotee. And then Narada was coming and on this way, and he saw that his spiritual master Guru, now he understood all the transcendental science of this loving devotion to the Supreme, the spiritual science or transcendental science. When he saw Narada Muni is coming, and he ran towards to the Narada. Now he was very careful, and he was killing the animals left and right and half killing. Now he was jumping up and down. Narada saw that this hunter, this Megari, is coming to meet Narada Muni, and he saw that the hunter, this Megari, is jumping up and down and seeing very carefully. Narada asked, "What are you doing?" So then Megari said, "Now I need to be careful, and I seeing ants crawling on this ground. I don't need to put my feet on the ant; they may die." So, dear devotees, this is what it is called the transformation. So only by the devotee association one can transform. Like we know that the story of Chitraketu, we know that the story of so many other devotees just by association, Jagai and Madai. There are so many examples. So, dear devotees, by only by the devotee association, their instruction, and then one can progress. And then what happens? That devotee says, Bhajana Kriya, like Ratnakar. Naradev instructed to, Ratnakar, start the holy name, Bhajana Kriya. Then we start to chant the holy name very faithfully. Then what happens? Our faith grows, increases, and we purify. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, Chedo Darpanamarchana. It cleans our heart. That's why it's very important in this age of Kali. One should chant the holy name very sincerely, very attentively, and follow the instructions of the devotees. And some devotees instructed you that, okay, chant 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, like that. So we should follow that. When we follow, then it purifies our heart. Then only that happens, all our anartha nivritti stages. Anartha nivritti stage means all our impurities have been eradicated from our heart. So our heart is completely with anarthas. We have mainly 6 anarthas: lust, greed, anger, envy, jealousy, and competitions, right? Arrogance. So these are all out there in so many degrees. And we can say that we can take hours and hours talk about these anarthas in every one of our heart. Every one of our heart, some degree of anarthas are there. So only by constant, continuous chanting, then very sincere and attentive chanting and understanding, and follow this instruction, then only we can come to that stage of anartha nivritti. So naturally, this anartha nivritti stage and nishta stage is considered as a madhyama adhikari, or a intermediate devotee. Then he comes to the stage of very nishta and ruchi, that he develop a love for and taste for the loving devotional service, very focused, and he does not deviate from his devotional service. And he is already committed some services. And one day he said, "Okay, oh, I'm not going for service." That is not a Madhyama Adhikari. That's a Kanishta Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari will stick with it. Will be very dedicated. We will have developed that taste for loving devotional service. He would completely, sincerely, enthusiastically, Ulsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya, with enthusiasm, determination, and patience, he engaged in loving devotional service of the Lord. Then what happens? He developed that. Then he come to that stage of asakti. Asakti means, sakti means attachment to this material, attachment, or asakti means that from the detachment of these material activities. He distaste all this material entanglement and activities. Come to that stage. Then he comes to that devotional stage of bhava. Bhava means that he's situated into that very loving devotional service. That's is in the pre-stage of a pure devotional service, of pure love. Is a pre-stage of that pure devotional service, pure love. He comes to that stage of loving. There will be a little bit tinge of little, attachment is there maybe, but that's a stage of bhava. That means even he is completely engaged in loving devotional service, and he developed that symptoms of ecstatic love for the Supreme Lord, the symptoms of the ecstatic love, symptoms, okay? And then the prema means actually completely in the ecstatic love or the pure devotional platform, the pure. He is completely pure. That is called the prema. So that's the stage where comes to the bhava, and the prema is one who comes to that uttama adhikari platform, uttama or the pure devotional level. So this is the way one can develop, can come to the stage of uttama adhikari, and where it start from strong faith. And that faith should increase day by day, and by all other process of hearing. That's where that we have to always engage in the 9 devotional process of services: Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These are the Navavida Bhakti: Sravana, Kirtana, remembering the Supreme Lord; Sravana, Kirtana, Vishnu Sparanam; Pada Sevanam, engaging the loving devotional service at the lotus feet of the Lord; Archanam, offer the oblations to the Supreme Lord; and Archanam, and offer the articles to the Supreme Lord; Archanam, Vandanam, obeisance to the Supreme Lord; Dasyam, serve by servitorship, engage in the loving devotional service of the Lord as a servant, as Lord is a master with that degree of consciousness. And then Sakyam, become devotees, become friendship with the Lord. And we can talk to the Lord, we can consider Lord as our friend and well-wisher, right? Sugurdam Sarva Bhudanam, Krishna says that. Krishna says in the 5th chapter, 29th verse, says that Sugurdam Sarva Bhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Mruchari. I am the well-wisher and friend of Sugurdam for all living entities. Krishna says, Krishna is promises that. So one can consider Krishna as his friend, Dasyam, then Atmanivedanam, surrender everything unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the way that we can come to that stage of Uttamadhikari platform. So then we should develop, and this is what then when we come to that stage of Uttamadhikari, then one can completely transform others as well, and we also can be situated in pure devotional platform. So this is the way we can reach to that stage. So we should be very serious and sincere about it, and we should develop that our faith by associating with the Uttamatikari. So we should see that many times, we have sannyasis, sages, senior devotees, and disciples of Srila Prabhupada when they come and try to associate with the maximum by their vapu, by their vani, association physically and directly and indirectly by their words, and especially Srila Prabhupada. When we hear from Srila Prabhupada, we are associating Srila Prabhupada and Uttama Adhikari devotee. So then gradually we also can become an Uttama Adhikari and the pure devotee, and then only we can also transform other devotees into this bhakti platform. So let me stop here with this note. Thank you so much being there, and it's a very wonderful that we hear on this day of Kartik month, and all the devotees are there. It's very very auspicious, and that's what is this a platform that we can share each other, and how we can understand this science of Krishna and what exactly we our original consciousness should be, and how one can come to this pure stage by all these wonderful processes. So thank you so much. Let me stop here. Any comments before we go to the next program? We will be uh, reciting the Damodara Ashtakam and read the translation of the Damodara Ashtakam. Then also we as mentioned that we will be also having a virtual tour, virtual Vrindavan Parikrama. Today we will go to the Brahmanda Kat, and where the Lord Krishna showed the entire universal universe in the mouth to Mother Yashoda. Okay. So if there are no other comments or concerns, we'll go to the next program. Anybody would like to add anything or any comments? Okay, let me take this. Hare Krishna, are you able to hear me, or am I talking to, or I lost?
Yes, we do hear you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Let me share this the Damodara Ashtakam. Okay, let me share the Damodara Ashtakam. Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay. So who can sing today? Just wanted to ask. Anybody would like to sing today? Satyam, you want to go?
The first verse. Mataji, you want to try? Niru Mataji? I can do first verse, not all the.
No, sing all. One
Sing
one
all,
devotee
Mataji.
should lead,
No.
so that yeah. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
You can do it, Satyavama. Okay.
Go ahead.
Radha Damodar ki jai.
Yeah.
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam
Namamishwaram Swachid. Everybody can unmute, please.
Kundalam
Gokule Brajamanam
Yashodabhiyo Lokalaghavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutagopya
Yashodhabhiyolukalaghavamanam
Rudantam muhurnetram yugmam rajantam Karambujayugmena shatankanetram
Rudantam Purnetra Yugmam Vijandam Karambhojayukmena Sadanganetram
मोहोश्वासकं पात्रीरेखाङ्गकण्ठ स्थितग्रीवदामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्
मुहुश्वासकं भात्रीरिकङ्गकण्ठा इदग्रीवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्
इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम्
इति दृक्सुलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे सुघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम्
तदीयेषु तज्ञेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे
तदीयेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सदा वृत्तिवन्दे
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षं वधिवा न चान्यमृणेऽहं वरेषदपीह
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षं वदिं वा न चान्यं मृणेऽहं वरिसदपीह
इदं ते वपुरनाथ गोपाल बालम् सदा मे मनस्समीरस्तां किमन्ये
इदं देवपुरनाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्यामि राष्ट्रं किमन्ये
इदं ते मुखं भोजम् अत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुन्तले स्निग्धरक्तेश्च गोप्या
इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीले मृदं कुण्डले स्निग्धरक्तश्च गोप्या
मोहोश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनस्य वीरस्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभे
मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विराष्ट्रकालं लक्षलाभे
नमो देव दामोदर अनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलभिमग्नम्
नमो देव दामोदर अनन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलाभिमग्नम्
दृष्टिवृष्टातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणि मामेत्य नित्याश्रिदृशा
कृपादृष्टि दीनं बधानो गृहाणेश मामस्नं यदक्षिदृष्ट्या
कुबेरात्मजो बद्ध मृत्यैव यत्त्वा त्वया मुचितो भक्ति भाजो कृतो च
कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धा मूर्तैव यत्त्वा त्वया मोचितौ भक्ति भजौ हृदौ च
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकमे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे दामोदरेह
तदा प्रेम भक्तिं सुखमे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे गृहो मेष्टि दामोदरेह
नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयधरायाथ विश्वस्य दाम्ने
नमस्ते स्वधाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोधरायाथ विश्वास्य धाम्ने
नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नमोऽनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो राधिकाय प्रियाय नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो राधिकाय प्रियाय नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा
राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे
जय राधा दामोदर राधा मधुर राधे
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
मदर की जय
So now please read the translation one by one.
To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swings to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in the retreat in a fear of Mother Yasoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisance.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Second one.
Upon seeing his mother's weeping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick. And as Mother Jashoda bound his belly with ropes, he severed in fright, and his pearl necklace shook. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ji ki third one.
Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayana in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodara, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times.
Jai. Thank you, Radha Damodar Ji ki Jai. Fourth one.
O Lord, although you are able to give me all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastime may constantly appear in my mind. Oh Lord, I do not even want to know your features of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastime may ever be enacted in my heart. Radha Damodar.
Ki jai.
Right.
Fifth one.
O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruits due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you. Radha
Radha
Damodar
Damodar ki jai.
jai.
Right.
Seventh one. Sixth one.
O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and I am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me. Uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar ji.
Ki jai.
Seventh one.
O Lord Damodar, in your form as baby mother Yasoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva, and Nalakuvera, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in this same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence.
Fifth one. Radha Damodar ji ki.
Damodar ki jai.
Should I repeat? Can I?
Anybody else? Any other devotee? Okay. Go ahead.
O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with the rope by Mother Yasoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most
Be loud, Srimati Radharani.
uh, yes, I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. Radha
Right.
Damodar ji.
Shri Shri Radha Damodar ji ki jai. Shri Damodar Ashtakam ki jai.
Jai.
It's very beautiful that we go through this very powerful, and which is Satyavrata Muni compiled this in Satya Yuga, and we are very fortunate that we have this and opportunity to read and read the translation. So now, thank you, dear devotees, for engaging. So that's very important. So now let's go with this Vrindavan Parikrama, as we mentioned. So today we will be going through the Brahmandakat Parikrama. So everybody can observe and meditate on this Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the playground of the Supreme Lord. Always eternal pastimes are happening there. And this not, don't think that this is an ordinary mundane plane. No, this is the eternal abode of the Lord. We may see in different, because of that is our impurities of our eyes. But if you look at that Vrindavan, Vrindavan is the extended, the Golok Vrindavan, extension of Golok Vrindavan is actually that's what we are seeing here. Okay, so let's, without much wasting of time, so let's begin, and let me stop sharing and then start with the yeah. Where was it? Okay, it's here. We share the sound. Make sure you optimize it. Okay. There may be some
Hare Krishna. Now we've come to Brahmandagat, the place where Krishna ate clay. was amazingly surprised to see all the work the government's been doing during lockdown, remodeling the ghats and building new ghats with all these beautiful walkways and domes. It's really amazing. And here we see Jamuna flowing by the new ghats. Just see the work that they've done. In Brahmanda Ghat, we see this old ancient Kadamba tree that's filled with flowers in the rainy season. And everybody ties a cloth around its branch and makes a spiritual wish. This is the beautiful Brahman Bihari temple, which commemorates where Krishna showed the whole universe inside his mouth to Mother Yasoda. And very, very charming deity of Brahman Bihari is here. You can see on the altar here, little cowherd boys are painted, pointing at Krishna, accusing him of eating dirt. This is the old Mahant Madan Mohan Baba, who lived for over 100 years. My dear friend Sudama Baba is taking care of these beautiful cows behind the temple. Hare Krishna. So one day, Krishna and all the cowherd boys along with Balaram were playing here beside the Jamuna. And Balaram went to Mother Yasoda and he was complaining with his friends that Lala's eating clay. So Mother Yasoda came here and she was very angry and she said, Lala, you're eating clay? And Lala said, Maya, maine hi miti nakayo. Now we could take it, maine hi miti kayo. I definitely ate clay. Or in past tense in Hindi we say maine hi. Maine hi miti kayo. I didn't eat any miti, any dust. But why Balaram and all his friends are complaining against you? Because today Balaram's side lost in the play, so he's making up lies to get me in trouble with you. If that's true, then let me see inside your mouth. So Krishna opened his mouth and Mother Yasoda looked inside and she saw the sun, the moon, the stars, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all the planets, all the demigods, all the senses, the objects of the senses, the controller of the senses, everything. Even she's standing outside, she saw herself inside. She's looking inside Krishna's mouth, she saw Krishna inside the mouth, sitting on her lap drinking milk from her breast. And Mother Yasoda became very bewildered. And she began to think all types of philosophical thoughts and began to wonder who her little Lala actually is. So Krishna, he doesn't like Mother Yasoda and the Brishvasis to show reverence towards him. So immediately he expanded his Yoga Maya potency and Mother Yasoda forgot all the things she saw. So here is a beautiful place called Brahmanda Ghat, where Krishna showed Brahman, the whole universe within his mouth. And just on the ghat behind here, one time in 1971, Prabhupada did a program, Pandal program in Delhi. So after the Pandal program, there was free time, So Prabhupada, for the first time, he brought all the devotees, whole busload of devotees, to Vrindavan to show them the glories of Vrindavan. So this was in November of 1971. So November means it's starting to get a little cold, quite cold. So Prabhupada came here on the Ghat, and he went down and he touched the water of Jamuna, and he said, "It is too cold for old man like me, but you can all go in." So Prabhupada sat down on the Ghat with his old friend and godbrother OBL Kapoor, Adi Keshav Das. And Prabhupada was watching all the devotees have so much fun. And if you've ever seen the Ever Well-Wisher film, you can see suddenly Prabhupada is talking with OBL Kapoor and saying, "Why not? Let's go." So Prabhupada, you see Prabhupada in that film taking off his jacket, sweater, and putting on his gamcha, and Indian style holding his nose 3 times, bling, 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 then he's bathing like that.
In Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada treats his followers to a guided tour of the holy places and personally relates Lord Krishna's pastimes. The devotees relish a bath in the sacred waters of the Yamuna River.
The late Shirodakshay Vishnu assists Prabhupada entering the water of Jamuna. So next time you see the Ever Well-Wisher film of Prabhupada, you'll remember that spot. This pastime happened here on the banks of the Jamuna here in Brahmanda Ghat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Outside the temple gate, they sell the clay balls that Krishna actually ate. At the top of the Ghat, we have a huge old ancient peepal tree. I hope you relish this prikrama to Brahmanda Ghat, and we'll see you again some other wonderful place in Braj. Till then, stay safe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Was it okay? Was it good?
It was
Hare
good.
Krishna.
We can imagine. If Yashoda forgot the memory that he saw in the mouth, Brahma, then who recollected this story?
What is that?
He mentioned that Yashoda, after looking at the Brahman in Krishna's mouth,
Yeah.
Yog Maya made her forget everything.
Yeah.
So then who recollected this story then?
This is Vyasadev. Vyasadev is literally incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So Vyasadev could see and understand everything that what is happened with Krishna and compiled all those down to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Oh, okay.
Vyasadev instructed this to Sukadev Goswami, that Sukadev Goswami again spoke all these wonderful pastimes of Krishna to Parishit Maharaj. So actually Vyasadev compiled, put down everything. So Vyasadev is literally incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Okay. Is it?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? So tomorrow we will be going to the Govardhan. So please join. Don't miss. So nice to be part of and understanding the significance of each where Krishna was originally played these wonderful pastimes. Okay. So let's conclude today's class. Let's pray together. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavrunda ki jai. Vandara Srimad Upadeshamrita ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Gaudi Vaishnavrunda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, you conclude today's class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.